Hi, welcome to the Unindustry Astrology Full Moon Forecast for this July 27, 2018, a lunar eclipse. So the full moon is approaching. How are you feeling? If you've been feeling a little bit tense or intense, it's no wonder. This is a very powerful full moon we have coming up because it's a total lunar eclipse. About every 6 months we have a lunar eclipse when the nodes, Rahu and Ketu, the north and south node of the moon that represent the axis of the shadow of the earth and sun, they line up with the moon, the full moon or the new moon, and create an eclipse. So this lunar eclipse is coming right after the solar eclipse, and there'll be another one coming up on August 10th as well. But this one on July 27th, this lunar eclipse, is exceptional because it is the longest lunar eclipse that we've had for 130 years, much longer than normal. And on top of it, it's going to be just about a degree away from Mars, who's at his greatest magnitude at this moment too. Since May, basically, Mars entered his exaltation in the sidereal system, the Vedic astrological system in Capricorn, and he went retrograde. And Ketu is there, that tail of the eclipse serpent, right? The one that causes eclipses. The south node Ketu has a lot to do with spiritual detachment, dissolving, confusion, but it also magnifies the energy of whatever it's sitting with. So Mars' light has been getting brighter because he's approaching closer to the Earth as he's going retrograde. So he appears actually to be shining even brighter. And this magnitude is actually peaking this month. It's the brightest he's been in 30 years. So we have a very, very bright red Mars with a very long lunar eclipse on July 27th. Very powerful combination and quite unusual. Eclipses are, like I said, they come every 6 months. It's not that unusual to have an eclipse, but eclipses like this can often signal big turning points or kind of an evolution, pushing forward, change. A lot of times big changes or transformation, you could call it, depending on where the lunar eclipse happens in your chart. So if you'd like to find out more about how this lunar eclipse affects you on a personal level, you should check out the link below and book a reading with me online. So this powerful Mars, very aggressive and volatile energy actually, fiery. It's been interesting watching the volcanic activity and some of the fires and the dryness. There's a storminess as well to this. We may see more storms coming up this summer. And there is a tension, if you noticed, in the air. People may be more defensive. People may seem more on edge. So be aware, be mindful, and try to observe to the best of your ability how you feel as well inside, and bring to consciousness some of this fiery reactivity, because there is a tendency to sort of lash out. There's something quite aggressive behind this Mars lunar eclipse. So be patient, keep quiet, keep listening, and to top it off, making maybe more miscommunication even, will be the Mercury retrograde, which starts the day before the eclipse on July 26th. And actually all through the week we have a pretty difficult transit for Mercury because he's in the very last degree of Cancer and he's very, very slow. He's stationing, right? And that last degree of Cancer it's kind of like an edge point. They call it the Gandanta, or the karmic knot in Vedic astrology, because it's sort of the deepest, kind of murkiest area of Cancer, that watery sign, the oldest of the degrees. So there can be maybe a little more brain fog or indecision or a feeling of being stuck or stagnant down there in that deep kind of murky area of Cancer. So yeah, this is a time when it's very important to, again, stay meditative, try to keep aware of your thoughts and your emotions and how you communicate. And auspiciously, this lunar eclipse is in the nakshatra of Shravana nakshatra, the star of learning or listening. It's actually symbolized by the ear. And it is a star that actually gives a lot of possibility for self-observation and communication. It really gives a certain receptivity. Shravana is actually also associated with Saraswati, this goddess of learning, education. Saraswati is also the river, an ancient river, holy river, like the Ganga. And like the river, always flowing, there's a divine flow of, like music, like she's playing a veena in this image. The divine flow of speaking, of music, of thought, of connection. So connecting in with this inspiration, right, through her. It's a wonderful remedy right now for this rather intense and stagnant and fiery fighting kind of energy we're in. This is also Guru Purnima, very fitting, as the Guru is the teacher. And Shravana also holds a lot about tradition, actually, and lineages, and listening and repeating, like an oral tradition. How we learn from one another, how we speak and how we receive and listen. So, yeah, this is a time to really get quiet. Try not to be reactive. Try not to get caught up in dramas or too much talking. Just keep quiet and listen. Listen to nothing. Listen to silence if you can. Listen to your own heart. And actually, there's another nakshatra, one that is rarely spoken about, the 28th nakshatra. And this lunar eclipse is falling right on the edge of it, right in there. This 28th nakshatra, kind of a secret nakshatra, is called Abhijit. Abhijit is this nakshatra of victory, complete victory. The fact it is considered to be the most auspicious of all nakshatras. And it was taken out of the wheel, 28, now there's only 27, because it was so powerful. So really, there's a lot of power in this lunar eclipse if we can get clear, right? Mars wants power. Actually, he is about power, empowerment, courage, stepping into power. But it needs to be balanced with this receptivity as well, and awareness. So if we have the ability to really listen, as I was saying, to what is needed, and set clear goals and intentions right now on this lunar eclipse, wow, I think we can have a lot of success in the future. So, but it takes a lot of awareness, and I wouldn't advise starting new projects on the lunar eclipse. It's not always auspicious to start everything on these kinds of moments. Don't sign any big contracts if you can. Avoid that. And keep it simple, actually. It's always better to keep things simple and reserved during lunar eclipses, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this lunar eclipse in Shravana nakshatra. So the first card that came through is the Four of Cups. Reminds me of stagnant waters of Cancer, that Gandanta I was talking about. In fact, it is actually one of the cards of Cancer. Here you can see the Cancer symbol there. Sorry. We have the Rahu and the Sun in Cancer too as well. But the stagnation, the kind of like not seeing our options, or the indecision that this card symbolizes. Feeling like we don't have the power or the options or the clarity even to know what to do next. Eclipse energy can sometimes feel like that. It's a lot of chaos. And the 7, wow, the 7 of Cups. I'm sorry, it's Wands. Fiery. Mars there. See Mars. Valor. Courage. Mars, courageous, warrior. Finding the words, finding the gall, right? To push forward. Sometimes it's too much. This 7s are a bit too much, aren't they? A little bit too hot. A little bit too much fire. So beware. Like as I was saying, this is a great time to, if you're feeling anxious or like too, full of energy, maybe exercise, get out there, yoga, especially like very active yoga, if that's something that you're into. Martial arts, and burn off some of the fire. And then this one, the 6. The 6 of, it's fire too, 6 of Wands, the one that comes right before the 7. So yeah, this is a fiery lunar eclipse for sure. And the 6 is the card of victory. Remember, Abhijit. Yeah, there's a lot of potential. Don't be afraid to change either. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to go with what's natural. Allow it to happen. Don't push against it. Okay. A lot of fire. Water. So much to do and maybe not certain what you want to do. Not seeing the options. Feeling trapped. Feeling like you need to prove something. There's no need to push so hard. The foggy, murky uncertainty is only temporary. Find the balance between listening and speaking. There's great potential in this full moon, in this lunar eclipse, to find your voice. Okay, thanks for joining me today on the Anandashri Astrology full moon lunar eclipse forecast for this July. If you would like a reading with me, book below. It's easy. There's a link in the YouTube description window, and I offer Vedic Astrology readings and tarot readings. And don't forget to hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, and I will see you soon on this upcoming solar eclipse in August. Take care. Namaste.